What is the crack? Today's video is all about how to upgrade your rig. Now, it's not necessarily about spending loads of money. Some of these are cheap, some of them are more expensive. So here are my top 5 upgrades for your entry-level rig. Now, everybody has opinions on this. This is just my opinion. I want to hear your opinion in the comments below, but let's do this. Top of the pile, and one that you can do to... You guys thought I was going to say top of the morning to you, didn't you? I know what you're like. Top of the pile is the tablet, the humble tablet. Everybody, well, most people have a tablet or a phone lying around. And you guys probably have it shoved in a drawer because it seems to be absolutely useful. You guys probably have it shoved in a drawer because you think it's absolutely useless. But this iPad, it's an old iPad Air, it's probably about 6-7 years old, probably not worth a hell of a lot, lying in a drawer. As soon as you run something like SimHub on your PC, you'll be able to, now this is a PC only, actually I think you might be able to do this on console. You guys, I'm not a console expert, tell me in the comments below. On PC, run something like SimHub and you can actually have a dedicated telemetry, so you could even have it as a heads-up display. You can have it as a screen to the side to show, you know, other drivers' times, track map, any of the stuff that you don't want on screen, just like a real race car would have something displaying like this on a screen, or your pit crew would have something displayed. You can do that with a basic old tablet. All your tablet needs to be able to do is have Wi-Fi. It needs to be able to connect to a web browser, via a web browser to a URL. If you guys want to know more about how to set it up, there are lots of videos on that out there, but if you want me specifically to do a video on that, I'll gladly do it for you. I just need to know that there's actually some demand for the video so that I don't release a video which gets like 10 views. So that's a tablet. Now, one of the drawbacks of using a tablet is that you have to turn it on. You have to, you know, when you're finished with your rig, you have to turn it off and all that. And you may just want to see, you know, what gear you're in or your rev meter, anything like that. It does look absolutely amazing on any rig. You can take a desk rig, put a tablet there with some telemetry, and it instantly just looks way, way more expensive. And this is an upgrade you can do today. If you have a little bit of time to spare and if you have some cash lying around, you can buy one of these for about, I think they're about 30 quid, something like that. You can get them on eBay. It's just look for sim racing, Arduino. You can make these as well, so you can do it even cheaper if you want. This plugs in via USB. You've got 8 digits that can display your time. It even says welcome when you start racing and stuff. Your rev gauge, it's got all the various, you've got little buttons on there so you can toggle through your displays. So I used to use this when I had my track day challenge at home, and it would show just the best lap of the session so far, so that it wouldn't be confusing people on screen, and when people were taking turns they could see the time that they needed to beat. So really, really cool. These are about 30 quid. They're a little bit ugly in this state, so you can buy them in this state as well. You can see in there, that's actually this exact same thing in there. All the numbers and colors and everything come through the tinted glass. Looks damn cool. One of the major benefits of this is you don't have to turn this on or off or whatever. You just have to make sure, again, that SimHub is running. And this pretty much is plug and play with SimHub as well. You don't have to do much. Again, if you want a tutorial on these, actually I'm due to do a review on these. At some stage in the future, I will do a review on this. If you want to see that quickly, bug me about it. Just tell me, Lawrence, you promised us a review about that thing with the numbers and the lights. The second one, or number 4 on our countdown, is detachable steering wheels. Now, you don't have to, you see detachable steering wheels like these, like the SimMagic Cube Control, stuff like that. You don't have to spend an absolute fortune. You can get, like take the Thrustmaster ecosystem or the Fanatec ecosystem. You've got detachable steering wheels. The quick releases aren't as beautiful as some of the higher end ones, but that doesn't matter. A round rim with shifter paddles and stuff like that does cater for most scenarios. And I always said to myself, I don't need a Formula rim. A round rim with paddles, sorted. That's all I'll ever need. Until I started using a Formula rim. I started using the Thrustmaster open rim. That was just savage. For any open wheeler, Formula 1, even GT cars, it just felt great. The different sizes are probably the main thing that matters. But absolutely a game changer, and it was pretty cool when I was getting into a different car that I just swap out the steering wheel rims, and it just felt that little bit closer to reality. Those Thrustmaster rims, you can pick them up for like 100 quid secondhand. They're always on eBay, so well worth it if you have a little bit of extra cash. It is the difference between having an entry-level looking desk setup or rig and having an actual, you know, really cool looking setup. You can, when you're not using your other steering wheel, you can always hang it on the wall. It sits there like, you know, a piece of art. Really, really cool. I love having lots of steering wheels, in case you guys haven't noticed. So steering wheels, yeah, that's a really good upgrade in my opinion. The next one is your displays. So most people with an entry-level rig are running a fairly, you know, usually crappy display, usually low resolution or whatever. If you're not on 1080p yet, get a 1080p monitor. They're a dime a dozen. You can get them for 50 quid, 100 quid, something like that. You'll be looking at probably getting a 60 hertz monitor for that, but you can get 75 hertz, 100 hertz, 144 hertz monitors for not much more money, so keep an eye out. Now again, it all depends, you know, the hertz on a monitor kind of corresponds to your frames per second, so if you're getting 60 frames per second in game, there's not much benefit. You will see some tiny little bit of benefit out of getting a 75 hertz monitor, but there's no point in going for a 144 hertz monitor or anything like that. Sticking on the display theme, you could get VR. VR is relatively affordable. Now the problem again is your PC may not run it, but if you have a fairly beefy PC and you can run decent specs, get a cheap entry-level VR headset. Get something like a Lenovo Explorer or an Oculus Rift CV1, yeah, just have some fun with it. Your graphics won't be as beautiful, but the immersion and the sense of having an upgrade is insane. And at the end of it, if you don't like it, just sell on the headset for what you bought it for. Keep an eye out, Black Friday is coming up. A lot of that older clearance stock is definitely going to be super cheap. So it's probably going to be a really good time to get into VR, especially with new graphics cards coming out. In case you haven't heard about those, the 30 series is coming out. People are going to start looking towards, you know, Valve Index and the new HP Reverb, and they're going to start upgrading. So expect to see even Rift S's drop in price slightly. I think. Is that wishful thinking? I don't know. Let's see. My number 2 best upgrade is a solid rig. Now you don't have to go full ham on it. You don't have to get a, you know, a SimLab P1X or anything like that. There are cheaper solutions out there. Now a good rig is always going to cost you about 300 or 400 euro, something like that. But it's totally worth it. Now if you're not willing to commit to a rig, you don't have the space, you don't have the money or whatever, there are other things you can do. See this chair that I'm on? Swivel chair? I used one for years, but even if you can lock that in place somehow, make sure that it doesn't roll back when you press the brakes, stuff like that. Any movement that you can eliminate gives you more power, more accuracy on your steering wheel, even on your entry-level steering wheel. So your rig is a direct complement to the other equipment that you use. So solidifying your rig, the more solid you can make it, the better. And finally, and somewhat predictably, I guess the number 1 upgrade for any entry-level rig is load cell pedals. You've probably heard loads of people say it before, but people need to get the message. Before you start doing all your fancy stuff, if you've got some money to spare, get load cell pedals. I don't mean go get Fanatec V3s or whatever. If you are going to get Fanatec V3s, use my link in the description. Was that a shill? Bit of a shill? Alright, don't get Fanatec. You don't necessarily have to go and splash out on high-end pedals. Like 40 or 50 quid will actually get you brake mods for your Logitech G wheel, your Logitech G pedals, or for your Thrustmaster pedals, your T3 PAs, and you get a relatively good load cell experience with that. Now the Thrustmaster TLCMs, they're like 200 euro. The Fanatec CSL Elite load cell pedals, they're not much more either. So if you don't want to fart about with all the DIY that's involved in installing a load cell mod, just go and buy a set of pedals. If you can't afford them new, keep an eye on your local classifieds, because people do upgrade that type of stuff. My first set of load cell pedals was a Fanatec V1 set, and I think I paid €100 for it, and it was like 10 minutes over the road. So do keep an eye on the classifieds if you really want this stuff. It's out there, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. So load cell pedals, massive upgrade for consistency. The first time you use load cell pedals, you're going to think it's a little bit weird. You're actually probably going to be less good the first time you use load cell pedals than with your potentiometer, with your standard pedals that you had from your Logitech or Thrustmaster. You're probably going to be less good for a little while. After a while, your muscle memory is going to get very used to what's actually happening with the brake, and before you know it, you're translating what you want to do and what you're seeing on screen through your leg a lot better. Your leg starts to remember exactly how hard to push, when to push harder, all that kind of stuff, and it allows for microscopic adjustments which make the difference when you're like trail braking or braking really late going into a corner or whatever, or even when you're just trying to keep the car stable. Load cell, load cell, load cell. Most important, it's the #1 upgrade. If you have a steering wheel strapped to a baby's high chair in front of your TV and you're looking to upgrade something because you have €100, €150, get some load cell pedals. Definitely. Just get them. It's the best investment that you can make in sim racing, is a decent set of pedals. Now, once you're in the load cell category, spending more and more gets you less of a reward than going from non-load cell to load cell. So that initial step into load cell, do it. So there you have it, my top 5 upgrades for any entry-level rig. If you have your own opinions, which I'm sure you do and you love to share, get the comment section going below. The comment section is absolutely buzzing on these videos lately. Just a quick reminder that 70% of the people who watch these videos are not subscribed. So people are watching my content, they're coming back and all that, but they're not subscribed. Those subscriber numbers do mean a lot to the channel, how it gets suggested to other people. And when you hit that like button and when you comment, other people like you get to see my videos too, and it leads to more comments, and it leads to more likes, and it leads to more bigger community. Speaking of community, join my Discord channel. If you ever have questions or if you ever want to discuss any of this stuff, it's not just me in there. There's a massive community, not just me, other YouTubers, other sim racing YouTubers. Great fun. Do hop in and just share your opinions. People are looking for help, all that kind of stuff. Or if you're looking for help, we're more than happy to help. Also, I stream every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock UK and Irish time. That's like around, you know, the middle of the day, 2 or 3 o'clock in the States. And it's about 9 or 10 o'clock in different parts of Europe. Hop onto the stream. Even if you can't stay for the whole thing, jump in, say hi, just hang out. And that is it from me for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Chat to y'all later.